Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the 5th video on our Vaillant Porsche 934 race car. I had some filming issues with this intro earlier, so we're a little farther along than I would like to show you, but let me just catch you up on what I've done. So I came in and I did some black around the doors just to kind of highlight the door panels. Anything that opened or shut, I highlighted. I did black around the fenders because I got that welt that runs around them on the real cars, and then I got the nose repainted with the neon orange. So we are ready for decals. Actually, let me talk about one thing before we get on to the decals. So one of the things I goofed up on was on this, there's supposed to be these two little blocks on the decal right here, number 17, number 18, and they go in the back of the wing. So I had to put those on and then get them all sanded down and smoothed out and then painted. So got that taken care of. And then on step number 9 again, they have this, it's a hatch cover right there. And they did it out of photo-etched metal, but it's just a round plug, and I don't particularly care for that because actually it's supposed to look like these in real life. And these have the surround and they have the little hinge on them. So I'm leaving that part off, and I'm doing that for a specific reason. I'll show you after we get it all decaled. But for now, let's jump on this and get the decal work started. All right, we are going to do decals here. So I've been looking at this and I have decided that decal number 33, this one right here that runs around the edge of the hood, is going to be my best bet to start with. There's a lot of decals here, and it looks like you really need like an anchor decal to really figure out where you're at with the rest of them. And I think that's your one, because the edge of this is going to run up here against the edge of the hood, and then the Porsche emblem right there is right there, so you have an absolutely dedicated space. You know exactly where that's got to go. So I'm going to start with that one. Just quickly cut it out of here. Okay. Okay, so easy enough, huh? Just the old scalpel makes short work of that. Now, I'm not really big on cutting the decal super close to the artwork, but with some of these like this one, I mean, you kind of got to at certain spots, so why not keep with it? I do, however, try to not cut them out with the numbers next to them, because those will float, and I've had them slide over and they'll get stuck on the decal and that'll ruin it. So just some regular tap water here. I like to throw them in and get them to sink down. I'm really excited to be working on this car. It's been a very, very good project. I've had a lot of fun with it. Everything, I mean, it's Tamiya quality, so everything, it goes together really nice. Everything's really, really nicely molded and looks good. Got the orange done. I know I mentioned that earlier. Had to come back in, just retape the edges off. And then did our liquid mask over it. I didn't get a chance to film it. Unfortunately, I tried and the filming came out goobered up, so I didn't get a chance to show you that, but it was pretty simple. I just taped it off right here along the base and then along the edges here. And that's all. Nothing much to it. Had to get all that done before we could do the decals and the clear coat, and we're going to do the clear coat before we do all the trim black, because I want that trim black to sit on top of the clear. So I'll show you when I get to it, but I don't want it to be, I didn't want to shoot the black and then clear and then come flat over the top of that, because I don't think that will look right. Okay, like I said, those are going to take a little while to come up. So anyway, as I was saying earlier, you need kind of an anchor point to start with your decals on some of these kits. And I figured this was good because, like I said, you have that right there, which is absolutely, you can't put this decal in wrong. And then this one's gonna have to be put in because that little ring around the edge of that's supposed to be black. They had a little bit of trim that ran around those. So I'll have to put that on, then paint that trim. That'll come later. And then just the rest of the stuff. So there's nothing really to this kit as far as the decals go. There's a bunch of them, but nothing too super major. Looks like it'll go pretty quick, actually. I'm really excited to get it going. I'm really excited about getting this car done. I'm looking forward to getting it finished and getting it set down. I'm gonna talk to Chad and see if he'll let me take some pictures of mine next to his and do like our own little mini car show. See, that is one thing with these though. These things take forever. I know it's probably pretty boring to watch me just let decals soak, but I know the minute I turn the camera off, it's going to click back on anyway, so. Okay, it's starting to lift. Okay. So now we just gotta carefully get this thing off of here. I like to put a little water on here sometimes, kind of get it started. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's easy enough. Let me grab this here. Okay. Okay. Oh man, that looks good. All right, now like always, I'm just going to put some of this Solvaset on here. There's not a whole lot of stuff that this needs to snuggle down around, but this will help it do it where it does need to be done. That is one of the problems with Solvaset. You got to be really careful with it. Crap. Okay. Okay. Let me fix this. It's just going to take a second. Okay. Let me put a little more Solvaset on that. Get the rest of those wrinkles out of it and we'll be good. I hate when that happens like that. Okay. Okay, let me give this one more try with this here. Boy, that really just ate into that. That's not. Okay, I am better with not messing with that. Okay, I'm just going to let that dry, and that should snuggle down really super nice onto everything. And I'll come back and we'll get some more decal work done. I'll show you what I plan to do next. Okay, so we're back. Got it all painted, got it all polished, got all the detail paint work done. The decals kind of turned into a fist fight because my Solvaset had gone bad. So if you have Solvaset that's over probably 7 years old, throw it away, buy a new one. Mine was at 10 and it basically turned into paint thinner. It was just chewing through everything and making a mess. Got the new stuff, works perfect, so we are good to go. But you can see how good this thing turned out. Everything's all super nice and shiny where it's supposed to be. All the black looks really good. That is just cool. Even came back and kind of re-airbrushed in back here to make sure we had the under part right. So we are good to go. So the next step I'm going to do, and I wanted to show this, is this piece here needs to go on the back of here. And that is photo etch and that would mimic the air charge cooler that these had. The intercooler. I guess air charge cooler's correct too. So, yeah. So let me cut this off here first. Okay, there we go. That come off nice. Looks like there's a specific way of putting that thing on. So let's see, that's kind of flat. Yeah, that's kind of the same on both sides, so I think we're okay. Okay, and then we will just really carefully pop this thing on like that. I find sometimes blowing on the super glue makes it dry a little faster. And other times it just makes a lot of noise and does nothing. But anyway, you can see, yeah, you can see that. Oh yeah, you can really see that, where it's letting that shine through that grate, that kind of, that satin black, and then that photo etched nickel behind it. That looks great. I like that. I like that a lot. So, yeah. All right. So just a little dab of super glue around the edge here. Okay, I'm gonna put that there. Okay. And let me double check to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Haha. Look how good that looks. That's so cool. Okay, so there's that, and then I'm gonna do the rest on the front here. Actually, I'm gonna have to set that up different, but let me tell you what I did here. So on the photo etch, I decided to do the grills in black, so I just went over them with magic marker. Magic marker's not going to fill in any of that. It's not going to fill in any of that grill, and it just makes it look like black. So I know sometimes if you try to paint this stuff, it'll flake off if you try to bend it, and this definitely needs bent because it has to made up to that. So yeah, so I just did that. So let me get these cut off, and then let me get them bent up, and I'll get them put on there, and then we'll move on to some of the next stuff that we got to do. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this grill here. This is how I like to do these if I'm bending photo etch like this. Got to make sure I got it facing the right way. So this is just 1mm PVA foam, and then just take it and just roll right over that. And it put an arch, I mean, yeah, you can barely see that. It put an arch in it, but obviously not enough to fit on the car. So we got to knock that off and go over that bad boy again. Just a little more pressure this time, and boom, there we go. Oh yeah, that made it up perfectly. Okay, and then just and I already did it on the center one here, but this is all I did. Just glue on the side, glue on the bottom, glue on this side, just a touch around the top here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got the little grill. Looks good, huh? So on mine, I decided to just do it black. Honestly, I looked them over, and yeah, some of them didn't have them, some of them did, some of them didn't have the grills, some of them did have the grills. Some of the grills were silver, some of the grills were black. After a little while, I realized it's kind of up to how you wanted to do it. And then, I don't know, somewhere along the line, that was perfect first shot out of the box. After a while, I just realized that it really didn't matter what I did. It was whether or not I was happy with it. That I wasn't building a replica of the car as it raced at wherever, you know. So I just said, yeah, I'll just build it so it looks how I want it to look. So that's where we're at with this. And I thought about it, and I thought I really liked the look of it with the black grade on it, because I think it made a nice little, kind of color counterpoint to the bright orange, you know, the neon orange and the green on everything. So that's why I did it. Okay, so actually, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So we were on step 9, and I already mentioned that I didn't do that cover. I left it open, and I'm so glad I did. So that leaves me with the 2 air inlets, and those are going to be pretty easy because they are just this. They just go on like so. And I did those in a, crap, I dropped that. Okay, I'll just show this one, and then I'll pick this up and I'll do something else here. Anyway, and I did those with the satin on them, so it matched up with the chassis. Okay, so let's get this up here. Okay. Then you can see where you got the black, and it kind of highlights off where that green of the air intake was. And I like that. I like that a lot. So like I said, let me get this cleaned up and let me pick that part up, and then I'll come back and we'll start doing some of this other final detail stuff. Okay, I got all that taken care of, so now we're moving on to excuse me, we're moving on to the mirrors. And they give you these little chrome bits that mimic that mirror just beautiful. So that's going to go on all three of these. I can't believe these are so cool. Yeah. Okay, come on. You almost need two hands to do this with. Or you almost need two extra hands to do this with. I already got two, and you can see how terrible I'm doing with those. Okay. Let me just wipe this off with our polish cloth here. Yes, sir. No fuss, no muss. That went right on there. Haha. Love it. Okay. 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 So that's those. That was easy enough. Oops. Okay. Okay. Oh, those race mirrors are cool. Ha! Ah, that's awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh man, that looks so good. Ah, I'm so happy with that. All right. Okay, so next up I guess is going to be, actually here. So they give you the door handles separate on these. Looks so good. Little dab of the super glue right there. Little dot on the front of it. Okay. Just like that. Haha. Oh, I love it. I love it. I am so happy with how this is turning out. Okay, so we got our glass. This actually isn't even close to being ready to go in, but I want to show you how I like to prep. How I like to prep on my glass. I think I've shown it before, but I'm going to do it again. So just cut it out. And then I like to take crap. Okay, so this is the 3000 grit. And just go over that edge with it. Knock off any flash marks. Okay. So I got my fingerprints all over that. I don't know if you can see it in it or not. But what we're going to do there is take our anti-static plastic cleaner and one of our little polishing claws. Just put a good drop on there. And then go over that. Okay. And then that's cleaned off enough, we can put it in the back. What you might also want to do, and I do, is we have our white cotton gloves, which is like perfect for this. And then you can just flip that over. Okay. And I know I put the one on my left hand, I didn't put the right one on. Let me grab it. Okay, see, and then you touch that as much as you want. You're not getting fingerprints all over that. So that clips in really nice, and it looks like it really fits in there and there. Okay, I don't really get the feeling I need to put more glass anywhere. I don't need to put any glue anywhere else on the glass other than those two spots. So that's actually what I'm going to do on this. I'm going to very carefully Okay, I'm going to very carefully put that right there. Yep, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that looks like that's going to work perfect. Okay. So let me see. I need to do the windshield, the other side window. I know I got to paint the trim around this. And then I got to do the trim on the headlights, and I got to detail out the two turn signals, and then the tail panel here. So let me do all that. You see me put the glass in. The rest of this is going to go in exactly the same, so not a real brain teaser there. I'll come back and I'll show you how I did the headlights, and we'll be moving on. Okay, so I was able to get this glass in. One thing that they kind of goofed up on was they needed to highlight that window needs to go in first, because otherwise it's going to catch on these, and if you got glue around it, you're going to jam the glue on those quarter windows. But no big deal. I didn't have a problem. You can see it looks good, but still something they probably needed to highlight a little more in the model. And if you're building one, there you go. There's your tip for this video. That back window goes in first. We are really making some progress here. I actually don't have that much stuff left to do to this thing. Okay, yes, we're right here where I got to do the power cutoff switches and the windshield wipers. Okay, make sure those are down. I have to be honest, I never double checked to see if those things faced a certain way. I just looked to see what color they were, to be honest. Because I really was starting to get a little worried that everything was kind of starting to turn flat black, or semi-gloss black instead of like colors. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so now we got to do the windshield wipers, and I always like to do the windshield wipers where whichever side they sit on, I do the one that's on the bottom first, which of course in this case would be this one here. So that clips right in like that. And that's going to go right there. Oh, that looks so good. Okay. Move this out of the road here. Okay, that looks really, really good. Okay, so I guess that leaves us with the taillight panel, which I still need to finish painting, you can see, and then the headlights, which I got done, but I've already had a few problems with those earlier, so those are going to wait until a little bit later when I'm done. So going to wait for a little bit, and then I'm going to do these two decals because the Porsche one goes on the back of this, so I want this glued on first. And then I don't want to mess with the windshield because I just glued that on a little bit ago. I want to make sure that's okay. So we'll do that in a little bit too. So I guess that brings us to the tires and wheels. I goofed up and I apologize. I didn't show how I did the wheels, but basically all I did was I chucked them in my drill, and then I just took my green liquid mask and just kind of pushed it up until it covered all that lip, and then I came back in and painted that with the antique gold that we sell, and it looks really good. So those turned out fine. Now we have to work on the tires here, and these are actual rubber tires. I already did this to the front ones. I got this at I believe Amazon. It's just a 1/4 inch drive adapter, so it's hex shank, so it'll fit in your drill, and it's 1/4 inch here. The one I have has 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch, which is pretty standard for the sets. And just fit that on there, and then this was the closest socket I had to the diameter of these wheels. It's still a little loose, but all you got to do to fix that is wrap once, maybe twice around it with the blue tape. Yeah, there we go. You don't want to go too much because you're not trying to jam it on there. You just want it to stay on there. So just like that, and then we'll chuck it up in the drill. Which I gotta grab. A lot farther done on this than I thought I was. Okay, and that's as far back as it goes. What is that? That's some 600, it looks like. All you got to do is just take this, and just spin it. And come back in and look it over a little bit. See where you're at. Okay, so that's good. That knocked all the kind of the shine off of it. There's still a little bit of a mark right there, but we are far enough done that you could come in and kind of clean that up by hand. So yeah, so that looks really good. I like that. Make sure you get it all wiped off, and then yeah, just pop it on. Now on this, they give you those Goodyear decals. Then you're supposed to dry transfer onto the side. I gotta be honest, I don't think they're gonna work. And I don't really want to spend the time messing with them. So I'm just leaving these with nothing on them. I saw that several times on the pictures of the real cars I researched. There you go, just presses right in, look at that. How cool. And I'll do that to the next one. I don't think you really want to listen to that drill run anymore. And I'll get it done, I'll get the tire on, and then we'll come back and I'll get this painted, and then we'll basically we'll be done with this. There's a very few things left to be done here. I got to do the hood pins and the tow hook. And then yeah, just that and the lights, and we'll be done. So let me get the off-camera work done here, and we'll come back and we'll finish this thing up. Okay, so we are getting super close here. I got the tail light panel all detailed out. It's looking really good. You can see that with the red and the little black trim around it and stuff. Looking great. I'm really having fun with this kit, actually. It goes together really, really well. Tamiya quality, like, all the way. So that leaves us with attaching that, and we need to do the headlights, and we need to put the body onto the car. So I'm actually going to start by putting the body on the car. That's just going to be our regular super glue. Hopefully this time I can get it on there without filling up the bottle cap all the way like I did yesterday. And there we go. So the way they got this car put together is pretty nice. Pretty standard Tamiya kind of thing. You got the two little posts in the front, and then you got the little clips in the back. Okay. I want to double check, make sure I'm happy with everything, and I am. Okay, let me put this in here. And that just supposedly clips right in there. Okay, so there we go. And then you just have to very gently pop that back there. And that is that. Gotta let that paint dry. And we're on there. And then let me switch gears here for a second, get some other glue set up. And I'll show you how I'm gonna do the rest of the lights and stuff here. Okay, and we got the tail light on, or the tail light panel all done. That's looking really good. Amber, the yellow for the turn signal, clear for the backup, red for the tail lights. So that looks really good. For this, I'm going to be using this. It's called Weld Bond. It is amazing. I've used this tested it out on a couple of other models. I got this from Amazon for a few bucks, $6-7 I think it was. Don't quote me on that though. But anyway, I watch a guy on YouTube, Ron Calverley. He builds these ship models, and just a great channel. Seems like a really nice guy. He's from Canada, and he was showing this the other day on his channel, and I was like, if it'll work on a clear submarine, it should work on a clear windshield, and boy does it. So I know Ron's never going to see this, but thank you for the tip, Ron. And if you guys ever want to see somebody put together some large-scale ships, almost in real time, he does a daily show where he shows what progress he's made, and it is just amazing. Super interesting, guys. Like I said before, guy seems like a really nice guy. But yeah, so just put that on just like normal. And then make sure I'm getting this in right. There we go. And just that little bit on those end pieces will keep that held in there. All right. And now we're going to do the last bit of the decals. I dropped that. I'll grab that in a second. We'll get that there. Here, let me stop for a second and get this going. Okay, so that's sitting there, I think, long enough. I'm going to toss that in there. Maybe I was wrong. No, I guess I was a little bit wrong on that. Sorry, I know that watching decals soak in water ain't exactly anybody's high point in modeling, especially watching somebody else do it. Wow. These are just on here. I'm surprised. I don't remember that from when I did the other decals. The wind's blowing really bad here. I don't know if you can hear that or not. It's blowing through my vent fan. Okay. Yeah, now you get to spend your time watching me mess with this stupid thing. Okay. Okay, let me... Okay, perfect. And now just a little dab of the good. Little dab of the good Solvaset. since we learned our lesson on the bad stuff, huh? Okay. Okay, there's that. Now we got to do the windshield one, which hopefully will come off a little easier here. Well, that one's going to fight me a little bit too, so let that sit for a second and I'll kind of explain what I did with these lights here. So in the decal sheet, it says to paint that ring the green, the same body color green, and they were on the race cars. But as I said earlier, I'm not building like a direct copy of the race car, so I don't really feel like I need to have a direct copy of all the parts on the race car. I know that probably sounds a little simplistic, but I decided that since this really wasn't supposed to be like, you know, oh, this is a car that raced at whatever, you know, whatever race in whatever year, it was more of like a clone. I decided that I would just do it how I liked, and I noticed on a couple of the remake Jägermeister cars that they actually kept the chrome trim on the headlights. So all I did on the headlight was went around that ring with the Maltau chrome pen, and I mean, you see how good it looks. And yeah, use that weld bond on there. I like that stuff. It's good stuff. It sticks right on there, dries perfectly clear. That's so weird. That feels like it's that feels like it's sticking to the sheet where all the white writing was at. Okay, so there's that. Let me grab didn't get those out. Grab that. Okay, haha, love it. Okay. And then just all right, so there we go. Okay, I am happy with that. Like, speechlessly happy with that. Wow. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Look at that. I really wish the camera picked the color up better. But yeah, look at that. You can see how good the grading in the front turned out. Glass is all nice. Looks good in the back. That Porsche sticker on there on the tail lamp panel. The hood pins, got those on. They're all photo etched. The toe ring, which I did red instead of black like they asked for. Again, that's what I see a lot. Those wheels turned out phenomenal. The undercarriage, which I know you've all seen before, but all the detail they got on it. Those yellow shocks really, really bring it out. That is just, wow. Okay, so yeah, so that's a great kit. The only problem I had with it, like I said, was the decal setting solution, and that was just because the solution was old. Otherwise, everything went on great. If that would have been a new bottle of Solvaset when I started, that would have been perfect right off the get-go. I can't say enough about these kits. Definitely very, very, very highly recommended. So yeah, I'll got a couple of spots of touch-up to do, and it's done. I'm ready to take it over and set it next to the one that Chad built, his Jägermeister car. I want to see them side by side, you know. And like I said, I wanted something to look like Jerry Seinfeld would show up at some Porsche car show and roll off his custom trailer. And I think I really captured that with this. I do. I think this is fantastic. I've always loved that color scheme. I always thought it was kind of cool, and the bunny rabbit I think is funny, and so I've always liked these cars. So yeah, love it, love it, love it. So thanks for watching the video, and if you watched all the way to the end, again, thank you very much. If you go to Scale Finishes, use code YouTube10 on our website, and all the products we used, the gloves, the cleaner, the paint, the clear. I mean, the only thing we don't sell is the super glue and the weld bond. Pretty much everything else that we've used in the video series we have available on our website. A lot of the tools, you know, the tweezers, the clamping tweezers, the yellow tweezers, the pointed Q-tips, all that, we have all that. So yeah, check it out and use your discount code, and thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.